got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Ng, watch him chop up a flare. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threats on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film threat, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film threat.
Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is time for Hollywood on the Rocks. Today on the show, we're talking Disney news, including an independent film causing waves at the Slamdance Film Festival, Stolen Kingdom, about Disney artifacts that are stolen from Disneyland and Disney World. And we'll have the filmmaker here with us, plus Alan Ng waiting in the wings. And Kathleen Kennedy, is it going to happen? Did it happen already? Is it just a rumor? We'll get into it. Let's start the show. Let's get things going. Let's kick it off. Come on, let's do it. Let's go. I know Alan is here, and I do see him. Here he
Alan,
is.
I've been looking for you myself. Alan.
Hey,
You made it.
I made it. You're lucky I'm here. I'm sick as a dog.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, I think I caught the flu.
You didn't tell me this.
No, because I thought I would get better. I mean, I'm doing okay. I think I'm on the tail end of it. I'm going to make the screening tonight.
Yes, we should mention Alan and I are both seeing I Heart Willie, which is the Mickey Mouse slasher movie meant to capitalize on the public domain Steamboat Willie, and we will talk on Friday. I am also seeing it in the theater tonight in Burbank. Where are you seeing it?
I'm seeing in Fullerton.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Nice.
you can order dinner to your seat at this one. So
I cannot do that. I have to get happy hour at Yard House and then get popcorn and see the movie. I'm seeing two movies tonight. I'm seeing a Gundam movie in IMAX, which I may or may not talk about. So on Friday, we have a lot of movies on Friday and a lot of Oscar news, which we will do our Oscar predictions on Friday. So Friday's going to be a big show. And of course, I want to remind everyone that, of course, this Sunday, March 2nd, get ready. It's our watch party for the Oscars.
Hey everyone, Chris Gore here, and I am at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences Museum, and this is your friendly reminder to watch the Film Threat Oscar Watch Party on Sunday, March 2nd. Alan Ng will be there, as from Heel vs. Babyface, Verbal Riot Show Dante James, and of course Gary from the Nerdrotic is Toxic channel. So join us as we watch the Oscars together, kind of suffer through it. You need us. And I have one Oscar prediction that comes true every year, and that prediction is it will be boring. Unless you watch us, then it'll be a lot of fun.
Notice I mentioned you.
yes, and is that the gayest promo you've ever made?
It's pretty gay. I just, off the top of my head,
Oh my god!
I just was like, oh, I'll just do a little promo because I went to the museum. You and I have to go. I have a pass. I can get you.
yeah, actually, my daughter and I have been talking about going.
Yeah, just it's actually not expensive. Your daughter would get a student discount.
Yeah,
But,
we went one time, and we had a blast there.
There's the cyberpunk exhibit. There's a Marvel exhibit. There's a whole exhibit on color and the use of color in movies. So it is very touristy, but I'm such a movie geek. I still had a good time.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they have some good exhibits. The time we went, there was a Miyazaki exhibit.
oh, that's cool.
And there was a Pedro Almodovar exhibit where
Oh, nice.
there's a giant screen with Penelope Cruz's boob right on it. It was amazing.
Well, speaking of that, did you know that when I went there, I won an Oscar?
Yes.
There's no audio with that, and so I kept trying to say fuck, like, but so you could read my lips. You can't really read it.
And you paid for that.
$7. I got a discount. Hey,
right.
Quick reminder. Go to shop.filmthreat.com. They will be in a week. They will be gone. We have our Oscar Who collection. You can get this shirt. The Oscars Can Suck It, which I wore to the Academy Museum. We now have glasses, Razor glass. We have Award This glasses, I Heart Film Threat, and Hollywood on the Rocks. Little glass. Put your, put your old fashioned in there. And then our drinker. This is my favorite shirt. I want another one of these, which is our Drinker's Choice capsule collection. So go to shop.filmthreat.com and support what we do. There you go. And the Oscar theme, the Award This collection will be gone in a week after the Oscars. They're gone. So, okay. We have a lot to discuss. So, Alan, what story should we start with first?
All right. Let's see. Well, let's start light. We could go with the with this one. It's finally been confirmed, and it's happening. John Lithgow says yes to playing Dumbledore in the HBO's Harry Potter series. It's going to define me for the last chapter of my life, I'm afraid, but I'm very excited.
I mean, if he lives to play, no, I feel bad. He said he'd be like 87 or something at the wrap party or whatnot. So I don't know. I love John Lithgow. I first remember him in The World According to Garp. I think as a non-Brit, this is great casting. He's in a movie which we will review in the coming weeks. He's in a horror film that's coming up called The Rule of Jenny Penn. If you look up the trailer to this movie, I mean, we could watch it right now. It is the weirdest looking movie. I don't know if I should show it, this trailer, but he's a guy that takes risks in roles. He was great in Dexter. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, that's the highlight season of Dexter, by the way.
That's maybe the best season. This movie, The Rule of Jenny Penn, is going to be on Shudder, and it's from IFC. You want to watch it?
Okay.
I like to watch trailers.
Oh, yeah, of horror films. Yeah.
John Lithgow's, this movie's not out yet. John Lithgow's recent work, The Rule of Jenny Penn. Here we go. It's maybe I won't play the whole thing.
Here she is, the coffee queen herself, Mrs. Jenny Penn.
Knees up off the ground, knees up off the ground. Come along, dearie, let it go. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. Ease up, don't let the breeze up. Ease up, Mother Brown.
I'll be better soon. Then I'm gone.
Stay clear of that lot over there. They're nuts. Give them toys to play with like children.
What's going to happen is you'll get worse and worse till you can't speak. Or even lift a finger. That's if you can still think straight enough to know what kind of hell you're in. My whole life, I I've been so bored. But time, it seems, has awarded me certain advantages. Be a waste not to honor that, don't you think?
Dolls aren't scary. Oh my God.
Menace here. He's been at me from the jump. Where there are no lines, hyenas rule. Enjoy your hidey home.
Who rules? Jimmy Pin.
That's right.
We don't stop playing because we get old. We get old because we stop playing.
Hello, Ginny Pin.
Yeah. Good night, Jenny Pin.
Yeah, enjoy watching
Oh
that
my
one, Chris.
God. What? Okay. So, kids, if you're excited about Harry Potter, the upcoming series, and you want to see the work of John Lithgow, watch whatever season he was in with Dexter.
Next,
Probably
season
the-
4. Season 4.
Probably the best season.
Mhm.
And see the rule of Jenny Penn coming to theaters. And Alan and I will review it.
Yeah. By the way, he was nominated for Academy Award for World According to Garp.
I love that movie when I was a
Yeah.
kid. Love it. So
That was a very sad movie when I was a kid.
there you go. So, all right, we're going to have limited comments today because we have so many topics. So we'll get to as many things as we can. Another news story here. Rob Liefeld has been outspoken. And when it comes to Kevin Feige, he's also been very not happy. Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool and very prominent in comics, you know who he is. He's pissed off at Marvel. He was dissed at the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine, and he's telling Kevin Feige to get off the mound. Alan, this story, if you would, from Variety.
Yes. All right. Yep. Let's see. Captain America: Brave New World fell off at the box office with a 68% drop in the second weekend. Rob Liefeld reacted to the news with a blunt statement on X about the president of Marvel Studios. Get Kevin Feige off the mound. He's spent. And that goes into kind of the story you just mentioned about his treatment at the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere. But Liefeld is not a fan of Feige. As far as Brave New World, the movie opened reasonably strong at 100 million over the 4-day President's Day holiday weekend, but negative reviews and poor word of mouth resulted in a hefty drop. Let's see. This is a new normal for Marvel movies. Senior ComScore analyst Paul told Variety, Brave New World's steep drop off. There's no denying that these movies have appeal, and Captain America: Brave New World will likely three-peat at the box office, but a second weekend drop of 68% reflects less audience enthusiasm than you'd expect from Marvel. I think that's pretty much what all that they're really saying here. But Liefeld's not a big fan of Feige, and I think he's come aboard with the rest of us. Feige needs to go. You're muted, by the way.
You could scroll up to the headline.
Yeah.
It's disheartening here. But I don't think he's saying anything. He's actually kind of echoing harder what some YouTubers are saying. And I had a conversation with Gary from Nerdrotic, and Kevin Feige in those first 10 years of Marvel was surrounded by really smart creatives.
By geniuses, yes.
Jon Favreau, Robert Downey Jr., the Russo brothers, James Gunn mapped out that decade. If he had left after Endgame, would have been the best mic drop in movie history. But he proceeded with, your phase 4, 5, 6. I don't know if they're using phases anymore. And all those people I mentioned, Gunn, Russo's, Favreau, they have moved on. And he has, let's say, lesser creatives as part of his team. And it's not working.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Compare the quality of the people who brought us to Endgame compared to the quality of the people coming after it. Those are names. You knew these people. You had seen their work. They had a proven track record. Even amongst the actors, you had that. And then come, what was it? Eternals and Shang-Chi and the others, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. He's hiring people. Just, I don't know. It confounds me why he hired these people. I understand why he went after Taika and Chloe Zhao. They were indie filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just, these people he brings on, I've just never heard of their work. Whoever the director was of the Marvels, I can't even tell you the director of Captain America: Brave New World and why he got it.
Well, there you go. Let's go to comments here. Starting with Sean, who gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you so much.
Yes, Colossal Dog, pissed off at Marvel. Welcome to the club. He joins the rest of the movie going public. Yeah. Red French Moon. Hello, everyone. R.I.P. Michelle Trachtenberg. This is really sad. So young. Yeah. 39? I think they said. Suns and Shadows. Chris has to be on cup number 4 of coffee. Yes? No?
No.
Okay.
I had 3, and then I switched to decaf. I'm doing water now. Water in my glass.
Yes.
Here. This hey, we got a big, holy cow. Raphael Canali for 50 of something that's from an R. Says, Chris, I'm a big fan, and as a Brazilian, I would love to see your review on I'm Still Here. Well, thank you. I have not seen that film. It's on my list, but thank you, Raphael. 50 is very generous, and that is on my list to see. So thank you. Stick around. Right here.
Smooth the DJ, Hail Gore, and Ng the Merciless.
Exactly. All right. More stuff to discuss. Before we get to, we're going to talk about Kathleen Kennedy. I want to show you the weirdest thing I have seen. The 1994 Star Wars movie we could have had. Think about this. If Kathleen Kennedy hadn't stepped in to make the Star Wars sequels, we might have had manly Star Wars sequels with tons of action, violence, maybe even aged up with the audience, make it very violent. And if I feel like Lucas maybe waited too long to make Star Wars movies. It was, more than a decade. But here's a glimpse at, now this is, yes, it's probably made with AI, I'm going to guess. But this is the movie we could have had. And I want to get your thoughts on this, Alan, because I know you love this stuff as much as I do.
Yeah, who
right?
doesn't? Of course.
Here we go.
War rages across the galaxy. War rises again.
Ewoks.
No army. There's only one man who can take them down.
Is back. A pirate gang on Dantooine has been holding our highest ranked commando since the last Chicago War.
If we free him, we could take back the old rebel base and cripple the Empire supply chain.
Oh, God.
Who the hell are you?
Will Smith.
They destroyed everything he loved.
I told you I'll be back. And back you are.
And now he's back to settle the score.
Yes.
Why don't you ask my Wookiee?
Oh,
yeah.
R-rated. What are you doing?
Ah.
We're gonna have to cut this, I think.
You gave a killer performance.
Oh my God.
This summer, prepare yourself for the motion picture event of a lifetime.
I know you got some short ass legs, but y'all better pick up the pace.
Yeah, Luke.
No.
Oh, Luke. Oh,
Was his
yeah.
pants on? Oh yeah. There we go. That's from Moonraker, isn't it?
Doesn't need the Force. The Force needs him.
A toast to censorship and tyranny.
Oh, the Empire done fucked up now.
M. Jackson.
Yeah, they got the lightsaber right too.
Oh my God. Oh. Zombies.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Willard Smith. Yeah.
Now, look, yes, it's ridiculous. It's over the top. I don't know, I don't know if I agree with the gore, maybe put that on the back burner, but everything about that, sexy women, lots of action, blasters. I mean, I feel like they're overthinking all of this. Like the situation with the Blade movie, right? It's Wesley Snipes as Blade and or Mahershala Ali. I like them both. Maybe a team up. Blade fighting vampires. Simple. Star Wars, lightsaber fights, arms and legs get chopped off. I mean, it's stupid that in the Star Wars sequels, with all the lightsaber battles, not one arm or leg was severed. Like, think of the sympathy that Rey as a character would have if she went up against Kylo Ren and had all of her limbs chopped off. And she was a bionic version of herself in the next movie. You'd be rooting for her. She loses nothing. I'm sick of Mary Sue's and Gary Sue's. They all suck. But this, a super manly, go for it action Star Wars movie with starship porn and gear porn and just like, and by that I mean, just
machines having sex. Yes.
No, not that, but even romance, like that's filled with passion. Now, yes, it's a joke, whatever, but it simply shows I'm more excited about that than anything Lucasfilm has put out, since 2012. Alan, what are your thoughts? And we'll go to your comments.
I'll go back to what I said last Friday about the cleaner. In the 90s, we had Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Willis. These were our action heroes. Today, it's Daisy Ridley.
Right.
And this is
Cleaner is so. Cleaner is like the Madam Web of Daisy Ridley movies. It's laughable. I don't know how you take it seriously.
Yeah. I had conversations. I have two friends who work closely with autistic students. And I brought them, hey, what's up with this trope about autistic characters who are computer hackers? And they just kind of rolled their eyes.
They're all geniuses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we're headed.
They're mentats like Dune.
Mm-hmm.
But look, I think if you get back to basics, show me something I've never seen. Even some of the other imagery, there was Yoda with an eye patch in a little stormtrooper outfit. There were Ewoks with guns. It was like this. It was like a cavalcade of sci-fi imagery that you die, like women in cages in bikinis. Like, do that. Get rid of HR. Get HR out of the creative room. Get them out. Get them out. All right, let's go to your comments here.
Razorburn, take my money. Sin, Arnold in Star Wars would have been epic.
And Will Smith too, and Sam Jackson.
Yeah, well, Sam Jackson. Caveat ties, put the Wookiee down. Phantom Monk, girls, guns, and tough dudes.
Exactly. So, all right, let's talk about Kathleen Kennedy. She's expected to retire, but there has been no formal announcement. So we reported last week that I speculated that she would be leaving because she is now getting awards. We showed you that she received on Sunday an achievement award for all of her work on Sunday at the ASC Awards. That's the American Society of Cinematographers. And there has been no formal announcement at all. So this is all speculation. Now, I believe she'll be gone this year of her own accord. She's not fired. She will be retired by year's end. Alan, if you could put up the story from the reporter.
Yeah, Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy expected to retire this year. Prolific producer.
I'll be right back.
Okay. The prolific producer has provided over Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises through ups and downs since 2012. After more than a decade in a galaxy far, far away, Kathleen Kennedy is charting a course toward retirement. The Lucasfilm boss has told associates she plans to retire by the end of 2025. A source confirms to the Hollywood Reporter. Puck reported the news Monday night. Reps for Kennedy and Lucasfilm were not immediately available after comments. Kennedy joins Lucasfilm in 2012 as the co-chair of Star Wars creator, as co-chair alongside Star Wars creator George Lucas, and a few months later took reins after Disney paid $4 billion for the company and Lucas exited. Let's see. Yeah, this just pretty much goes through her career. Yeah, coming up, Lucasfilm has The Mandalorian and Grogu from director Jon Favreau due May 22nd, 2026, as the first big screen outing for the franchise since Rise of Skywalker. Kennedy's storied career includes work with Steven Spielberg, husband Frank Marshall, collaborations including Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Gremlins, The Color Purple, The Goonies, Empire of the Sun, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and the Back to the Future trilogy and the Indiana Jones films, which included with last year's hit smash Dial of Destiny. In all, she has produced or executive produced more than 70 films and been nominated for 8 Oscars. The news comes ahead of April's Star Wars celebration in Tokyo, where the future of the Star Wars franchise is expected to be unveiled.
Yeah, so what do you think of all that?
I find this fascinating. Look, this story of her retiring has been reported many times for many years. How is it now that this has gotten traction? I mean, Hollywood Reporter has gotten to it. We'll see something later from CNN, but it seems like every outlet now is reporting A, that she's retiring, B, a retrospective of her career, and C, who's going to take over. This is what's out in the zeitgeist now, and I just wonder why now. How did this story explode today compared to all the other times this story?
Because I'll tell you why. Because she is getting awards recognition.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that tells me she is on her way out. She's going to get all these awards, how great she is, and then she can ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And
I did find it interesting that the story dropped right after our Versus show where we talked about this.
We talked about this on last Friday.
Yeah. And we talked about it Friday. We talked about it Monday. We also talked about it a couple weeks ago when she was awarded the Oscar Wilde Award.
So I think she's getting all these awards now. And I will have on Friday the video from her speech she gave at the ASC Awards. We'll watch it on Friday.
Okay.
She says some very interesting things.
Okay.
So we'll get to that on Friday. But I just think there's you don't like when a lot of people, like when they ask a politician, you gonna run again? What are you gonna do? What, like, you don't tell the truth. You keep your cards close to the vest. Whatever. You don't give up your hand, because he would become a lame duck leader if she said, I'm retiring. Then there's a power vacuum. She is going to announce it at the very last minute. But the table has been set for her departure. Let's go to your comments. We have a lot of other stories.
KK won't leave until she's utterly destroyed George Lucas's legacy.
Well,
has she not done it already?
Might be too late for that. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay, next comment.
Hashtag funpunk, hashtag hard not to see her appointing someone even worse to replace her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Seed. Nothing will change even if she does retire. They'll replace her with something worse, and the damage is already done.
I agree. You'd have to put Star Wars on ice a minimum of 5 years. And during that dormant period, you would make your plan for what to do when you come back.
Yeah. And what I find interesting is, so Pete Docter over at Pixar, he's been kind of the gatekeeper of wokeness getting into Pixar films, especially with the last one, and with the current television series. He seems to be fairly dedicated to just go back to good old storytelling. Kevin Feige, we've heard word that he's seen the light, and we'll see. You'd think you'd see some consistency out of Disney in terms of who they're going to put in charge of things. Who are they going to put in charge of ABC? Who are they going to put in charge of Disney feature animation? Is Disney going to be consistent and hire good people like Pete Docter, or do they even care, or do they even know what to do? I feel more incompetence than subversive.
Yeah, I would say they don't know what to do at this point. And the worst thing they could do is hire within Lucasfilm, because no one there knows what's going on. Okay, couple more comments. We have to move on.
All right, Davina Duckworth. Decades of presiding over Lucasfilm and Star Wars, Indiana Jones has nothing but shameful failure to show for it.
True.
Matthew Hammond for 5. Watch the 2007 Cleaner with Samuel L. Jackson, or the 2008 TV show The Cleaner with Benjamin Bratt, instead of Daisy Ridley's movie.
I would agree with that.
Yes.
But it is funny. I mean, it's funny in a Madam Web way.
I know.
Meaning they didn't intend for it to be funny.
I know.
So
just okay. Michael Taylor for 199. Does she announce it at Celebration? Yeah, Tokyo's going to be an interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I could see that happening. For sure. All right. We have a lot of Oscar related stories to talk about. So let me do this. Oscar winners are more likely to thank the Academy than their family. Okay, I got these statistics were sent to me, and you're not going to believe it. These are just some of, let me just show this screenshot. Who is being thanked the most at the Academy is thanked 29% more than mom or mother. I have the entire list. So someone went through Oscar speeches. Okay. Ranking: number 1, Academy at 71 occurrences. Number 2, mom or mother. Number 3, family, 51 occurrences. 4, crew. Number 5, cast. Dad is at number 6. Who's beneath dad? Wife at number 7, 24 occurrences. Number 8, a keyword, friends are thanked. Number 9, director is thanked, 19 occurrences. And number 10 at the bottom in the top 10 is producer. I actually have the whole list. This is, I mean, I find this just, we're getting all these bombarded by Oscar stats, and we will go over all of this on our Friday show.
I'm just curious, where's God on the list?
Not in the top 10, but I'll share the whole list and see if I can find God. Let me do that right now. So these are just through the use of keywords what we're seeing thank. The words most frequently used in Oscar speeches. So thank, film, Academy, incredible, world, number 5, family, life, amazing, movie, crew, number 11, number 12, beautiful, cast, moment, time, great, making, guys, many, those, never, award, good, Oscar, mom, number 25. God is number 26 under mom.
Oh,
well, I don't have a problem with it being under mom. I think mom gets a, but God ranks number 26 words most frequently used in Oscar speeches. So, what do you think there, Alan? Any thoughts on this?
Oh well, I mean, look, the Academy. It's number 1 because they're thanking the people who gave them the award. That's pretty minimal. You should do that at minimum, I should say. I think Halle Berry, I remember she thanked her accountant, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, but look, it is about how you got here, the people who brought you here, and I think those speeches should be about that. What you don't want to hear is Trump. You don't want to hear climate change. You don't want to hear a whole bunch of other garbage. Just thank your God, thank the people who brought you here, and get off.
Yeah. So, all right. More comments. Let's go to comments here if we have any. Let me see if we got some comments. Couple here.
All right. Brock Samsonite. Good meeting you, by the way. Winning an Academy Award is basically free ad campaign for the back end of your movie run. A god? Do you mean Harvey Weinstein from Bill S. Preston Esquire?
Yes.
That's exactly. I know. How many shout outs to Epstein will there be? A Dark Hero fan. I'm surprised a lot of Hollywood actors don't thank their wives, boyfriends at the awards.
Yeah, why not that?
Yeah. Phone Punk. They forgot Satan. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, again, be thankful to the people who got you there.
Yeah. Hey, I've got some more Oscar stories, but something I want to do before the Filmmaker comes on. I want to review the movie Stolen Kingdom. If you could put up the poster, and while you're getting that,
yeah, Lori's pulling up.
It's Alan. Tell me about Stolen Kingdom, which is playing at the Slamdance Film Festival.
Yeah, so look, this movie came at the right time with me just getting back from my vacation at Walt Disney World. This is the story of these adventurers, these fans who decide to make the Disney magic they've experienced all their lives and take it to the logical next step. And for some, it was jumping off rides and getting pictures with the animatronics. For others, it was sneaking onto a roller coaster late at night and climbing Mount Everest at Expedition Everest and looking for the Yeti at the end. And for others, it was about making money, about stealing things. A cast member stealing, ride manuals here and there, and then just that obsession going further and further and trying to steal the bigger and better items, culminating in the theft of the audio animatronic character Buzzy from Cranium Command at Epcot at the Wonders of Life showcase, which I miss dearly. So this documentary basically documents the people who've been kind of on the forefront of sneaking behind the scenes at Disney and their adventures and their exploits.
This documentary is epic. It's partly an archival documentary, and it uses footage shot by Disney fans who did things like they stayed overnight in the park, eluded security to go into rides that weren't functioning. They did things like they got off the ride when they weren't supposed to and went exploring. And you see through the footage that was shot over, God, it's got to be back like 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
Where they
these
would get
aren't
off the ride,
camcorders, by the way.
like camcorder footage. Like, it's incredible what they discovered. And they would steal little things here and there and sell them on the black market auction market of Disney. You can actually go and bid on things like old rides or benches or things that have been at Disney World or Disneyland. They throw that stuff away. So these are Disney fans that went too far. And in a way, it's like the Ocean's 11 of Disney World, where this character is stolen and then sold. He just went missing. Now, the ride was not functioning. It was a retired attraction.
Yeah.
But oh my God, this doc, it's riveting. It's riveting. And they interview fans. There's some people who refuse to be interviewed for the doc. And we're going to talk to the filmmaker, Joshua Bailey. So look for the interview. But my God, I was blown away by this doc. The dedication to do this was incredible. And we'll talk to the filmmaker shortly. But wow, this is honestly, this is the best doc I've seen this year. And I don't see, and this will cause controversy. It's not available to the public. It's only premiered at Slamdance, but holy cow, amazing. Alan, your comments and review.
If I'm not mistaken, it might be on the Slamdance channel because the festival's still going on. So
subscribe to the Slamdance app.
Yeah, I think it's $10. I think it's $10.
You can watch it now, but only for like the next 10 days. So limited time. Anyways, I don't want to get into a plug, but Alan, I love the doc.
Yeah.
Best doc I've seen this year. And everything I loved. It's so fast paced. We'll watch the trailer later. I want to show the trailer.
Yeah.
But holy cow, this was amazing. I can't wait to talk to Josh.
Yeah, I mean, this held a lot of nostalgia for me because one of the two rides that were kind of featured in this, actually 3 rides or attractions that featured in this was Horizons over at Epcot. I loved Horizons, and I rode that thing many times back in the day. Cranium Command, a stupid show, but you know, you had this animatronic hanging over you, and that's the one that got stolen, the little Buzzy there. And then Discovery Island, which I actually learned photography, learned professional photography on Discovery Island because I attended Disney adult fantasy camp. And they gave me a bag full of camera lenses and film and took me to Discovery Island and taught me how to shoot nature photography there. And to see them on display here is incredible because it's like, boy, I could have done that. I could have done these things. And then it harkens back to a time when YouTube wasn't exactly a thing. We could camcorders. No one was filming anything on their phone in this one. And then the reality that Disney didn't have cameras everywhere. In fact, they had cameras barely anywhere. And the fact that these guys would go on Horizon, they would jump off halfway through. They would explore for about an hour, getting pictures, getting photos, and then jump back on the ride and get off. And no one knew a thing what they were doing. And all the evidence that all these guys had against them were when they finally posted it on the web or on YouTube or something. You know, they essentially, every one of them turned themselves in because Disney had no idea what was going on. And to me, that's the most fascinating. And just the fact that there are fans who could just outsmart Disney like this.
And the fact that this was done, with camcorders, not phone footage, done at a time when security was not so tight. They didn't have cameras everywhere. That a Disney fan could just stay in the park after it closed and go exploring. It's like cave diving, but in like attractions. It's like the fact that it took like this long for this stuff to come out, and apparently there are whole YouTube channels. I don't know how many are up anymore that have a lot of this footage. Yeah.
Let me address this because
Yeah.
so I saw the film just after you saw it and thought it was amazing. So I'm telling my wife yesterday about this movie and go, "Oh, I saw this amazing documentary about Disney and people who snuck behind." And my wife she interrupts me and says, "Oh yeah, I see people on YouTube do that all the time." And she mentions people like Aaron the Woo, and other people. Those people are in this documentary. My wife had been watching these guys' videos forever, for years, and I didn't even know it until now. So in terms of, these guys got in trouble a long time ago, but they're, we did that story about Disney adults. This is Disney adultism at its finest.
This is the extreme Disney adults that they will put themselves, put their lives in danger. You see in some of the footage, it's kind of scary. A guy climbed up one of the rides and saw what do they call that? The like the Wampa-like creature. What's that?
Oh, it was the Yeti from
the Yeti climbed up that roller coaster, like not in a ride, like just climbing. So you see this footage, it's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love this doc. Can't wait to talk to Josh.
Yeah.
And strong recommendation. Best doc I've seen this year. Yes, it's early in the year, but I'm not going to forget this one when it comes to award this. This will not win Oscars for various reasons. In a way, some could argue, and we'll talk to Josh, does it encourage people to do this? I don't know, but I think the doc is very responsible. But what a fantastic movie. Alan, final thoughts. We'll go to comments.
Yeah, you talked about the danger. I think more people were afraid that they would get banned from Disney for life, and many of them did. Documentary also shows that one of them, I think it was Aaron the Woo or something like that. It was, he didn't participate because he just got back into Disney's good graces. They unbanned him, and so he didn't want to. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to get caught up in it or get rebanned.
Some people refuse to be interviewed for the doc, but strong recommend. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, very much so. Just the stories alone, definitely recommend. So I'm putting.
Let's go to your. Let's go to your comment. Let's go to your comments here. Alan, check your internet. It's you're phasing in and out in your kind of sketch, but here we go. Comments from our own Atomic Lori. No joke. I would like to have my ashes spread at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Continue,
Tom Siebert. I had a friend who snuck off a ride inside Disney World on senior night when they were down from Jersey High School.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was probably a lot easy back then. Brock Samsite, biggest Disney theft was the guy who secretly was selling costumes and old stored props and pirate pieces. I think he's in the doc.
It's all in the doc. You wouldn't believe the stuff they stole. You would not believe it.
Yeah. And where they show up. From Z, LOL, I can't even say what my girlfriend and I did on Tokyo's Pirates of the Caribbean family show.
I can guess what you did.
Yeah. From Bat Manual, Stolen Kingdom, Episode 1, Galaxy's Edge Sporks. Helios ending for 5 Canadian. Chris, the other day you were complaining about woke disclaimers before old films. What about the warning you started putting before your podcast, Chris?
It's mocking that. It's being satirical. But thanks for the $5. It's meant to make fun of those things. There we go. Yeah. All right. That's our early review of Stolen Kingdom. The Filmmaker will be on momentarily. So, but here we go. Alan, do you have any stories you'd like to talk about other films at Slamdance? Give a quick Slamdance wrap-up before we bring on Josh, the filmmaker from Stolen Kingdom.
I can just say that we've been I've been sick this week, so I hadn't been able to go, and I just had to make all these apologies to people for not
Oh,
being
that's
there.
okay. But give us your impression, and Josh will be with us momentarily. We're gonna interview him, but give me your overall impressions of the films at Slamdance. And by the way, go to filmthreat.com. Slamdance reviews being posted every day. I think the closing night is tomorrow on Thursday.
Yes. Oh no, it's tonight, I believe.
Oh, it's tonight. Okay, sorry. But give us your overall impressions, and we'll get to Josh, who's waiting in our digital green room there.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh.
Because it's less pretentious than Sundance, and it served as this really nice contrast to what was going on down the street in Park City. This year it's in Hollywood, mostly taking place at the Directors Guild of America, and overall the films just tend to be much more avant-garde, much more out there, much more weird.
No, but wait, I would defend that. I think the movies at Slamdance are more underground, more punk rock, more truly indie, and I would say they're more commercial, and in a lot of cases more fun. They're first-time filmmakers. Most of the movies at Slamdance, the documentaries are just bar none amazing. I actually honestly prefer Slamdance to Sundance, and I'll tell you why. Sundance, people get caught up in, like, I've seen it. I was at Sundance this year. There's a movie that's on Hulu next week, and they're premiering it at Sundance to promote the Hulu premiere or the HBO Max premiere. Slamdance never gets into that. Slamdance never does that kind of kowtowing to big studios. They're individual filmmakers with no distribution. Their movies are at the beginning of their festival run, and the quality movies are always at Slamdance. And they may be flawed in terms of they don't have a big budget. I don't care. It's so exciting, these filmmakers. And we've got so many Slamdance reviews. So read filmthreat.com or get the Slamdance app. And for like $10, you can watch most of the movies that are playing at Slamdance, including there's a review of Stolen Kingdom.
Yes.
What did the movie get?
If I'm not mistaken, I want to say 10, but it got an 8 out of 10. There we go.
That's still that's this fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So there we go. Yeah. All right. That's great, Alan. I appreciate that. Let's get to our interview with a filmmaker who has a movie at Slamdance. We just reviewed the film and discussed Stolen Kingdom with you. If you're a Disney fan, holy cow, get ready for this. Director Josh Bailey is joining us on the show to tell us all about Stolen Kingdom. So let's get your questions ready. Let's go. Hey, Josh, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hi. Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's going really well.
We just talked about your film before you came on. We want to show our audience the trailer that you posted on YouTube in a few moments, but how did this happen? I assume you're a Disney fan, right? But how'd you get involved in this, and tell us about your fandom for Disney?
Yeah, well, this one was like a no-brainer for us. It fell into our laps, really. I had moved to Orlando from Tampa, where I grew up when I was 18. I watched a lot of these people on YouTube growing up because I was a fan of Disney, but I also went to like punk rock shows, and I wanted to tattoo my whole body. And I found that people like Adam the Woo were kind of this intersection of that, and became very interested in it. And when I moved to Orlando, there was this new generation of that starting to come up with some of the folks you see in the film, Backdoor Disney, who we later found out is Patrick Spikes, Matt Sansois. And these guys were much younger, around my age. So we were like, we really need to kind of dig into this and see if there's something there. I've wanted to make films for a while. Let's see where this leads. Some kind of journalistic instinct. And I was not a journalist or a filmmaker at the time. But it paid off because Patrick just showed us everything about this black market world that I had no clue existed. And then I think the project turned into something else entirely. And that was the light bulb moment. Here's our first doc. 2 months later, Buzzy went missing. So then we really doubled down on this needs to be a film. And it took us a while. This was 2018, the events in the film happened, the crimes. And we started shooting in 2021. But because we had formed relationships with these people, and even like we drove around with Patrick, like near Disney and some of the places that he would take people, I think we were able to have this access to these participants. And it was just the whole thing. I keep saying it was a no-brainer. It truly was.
Well, we've been talking about your movie for the past 15 minutes. Let's share the trailer. We've got 1,600 people watching live on YouTube. Let's watch the trailer for the film, and then we'll talk about it on the back end here. This is the trailer from Bright Sun Films. I assume that's your company.
That is our co-production company on this project.
Co-production.
Yeah.
So let's take a look here. It's 2 minutes.
Now to a very strange crime at Walt Disney World.
Charged with burglary, grand theft, and trafficking in stolen property.
It's iconic. Only one on the planet. Where did he go?
The unwanted tourist.
Please remain seated.
Part of a growing subculture called urban explorers.
You start to get bored of just the normal experience. And then you start thinking, well, what else can I do?
I risk my freedom, I risk my life, but I want to show people things that they normally can't see.
When we started doing these adventures and theme park exploration, man, it just caught on fire, and it led to all of this.
A bombshell investigation.
Stealing from the happiest place on earth. He's accused of taking costumes and memorabilia.
Why? Because of high demand on the black market.
Disney black market has kind of always been a thing, but Buzzy's a different story.
Buzzy.
Who the f*** is Buzzy, man?
Buzzy, the animatronic from Epcot's Closed Wonders of Life attraction, was stolen.
You ever put this on eBay? I'll f*** you up.
The picture you see of Disney is this happy, colorful place.
Even though Disney is a place of fantasy, it is not immune to crime.
Disney will make crime.
If someone did just come and take it, then you just pulled the Ocean's 11 of Walt Disney World.
Did you steal Buzzy?
Did he?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great trailer, by the way. It really
Thank
perfectly represents the movie. It's like a tight 90 minutes. So tell you, how'd you get even started? It's partially, interviews, right? Mixed with, it feels found footage, but this is footage fans were making and posting online. And you could not do this today. Obviously, too many cameras, iPhones everywhere. So it's like, what was the process of collecting all the media and then forming a story with the interviews?
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, we had to get Patrick. If we didn't get him for an interview, get him to say yes, I don't think we would have a film. So that was the very first step of the process. And then he said yes, of course, and we were shooting, a week later. But it all just happened as we interviewed these people. We were lucky in our film that most of our archival is from the people in the film, and even stuff that's not necessarily filmed by them. One of our archivists, Hal Bowers, is a participant in the film and interview. He works with a team of people that archive Disney footage. It's more like home video footage that's not owned by Disney. And they'll take people's Super 8 films and High 8 films and they'll digitize them. And additional stuff like ephemera and things. And they really run this awesome archive. So they were able to provide us like licensable Disney footage that Disney doesn't own. So yeah, we were really lucky. Just as we went along and interviewed these people, we would ask them, is there anything that we can use? Are we able to use this and that we really want to? I really had access. Like you mentioned, a lot of it is on YouTube. So we were playing with it, creating these kinds of proof of concept videos to show people, like, here's this idea that we have. So we were really lucky that it was publicly available.
I assume you had hundreds of hours of footage, which is a whole challenge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And the narrative shifted, I think. Like I mentioned, it was urban exploring. I didn't know about the black market, right? So we had thought, these people are really interesting, these Adam the Woos, the Leonard Kinseys, Dave Ensigns. And the black market thing started to unfold. And I think the narrative twisted even more in our like investigation process. And we maybe thought it would be a little more crime focused or black market focused. And then it wasn't, because we hit a lot of dead ends. So there's footage that's not in the film. There's leads that went nowhere. There's stories that people were maybe kind of unsure about telling on camera, but did anyways. So those were maybe cut out just out of respect. Like double checking, you said you didn't want to tell the story and then you did.
I mean, were the interviews tricky in the sense that, essentially they're incriminating themselves? I mean, at least Patrick already already got convicted for his crimes. But the others, they're in places they're not supposed to be and doing things they shouldn't be doing. Was there like a dance in terms of trying to get information with and then resisting that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I keep saying that everyone in the film, I'm pretty sure, is a criminal on some level, except the journalists. Because you could even say that what Hoot and Chief were doing back on Horizons, it's like pretty blatantly trespassing.
Yeah.
Luckily, I think it's pretty harmless, so they never got caught. But Patrick was probably the trickiest one because I think he had the most public crimes that happened. We did, if you notice in the film, because you guys have seen it, there's 2 interviews with him.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is the one that we use the clip from in the trailer at the end when we ask him if he's told Buzzy. He was a little coy about it and a few other things, but ultimately he was really shy about speaking on some of the crimes that we knew about. Everyone knew about these in the fan community. They were even kind of broadcast on local news networks that we show in the film. So we just kind of had to let it roll. He was super hesitant. He was like, allegedly this maybe happened. And then we came back and he was like, I just wasn't sure. Like, I was like, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to tell you that you're okay to speak about these things. But he looped back around and was like, hey, you know what? I think I can talk about these things now. I think it's okay. Like, all right. Well, come back down to Orlando and let's shoot another interview.
Now, the movie just premiered at Slamdance. I'm sure the live audience, they must have had a great time. What has been the reaction? And also, are you concerned about how Disney may respond? I'm sure as a doc filmmaker, you've dotted the I's, crossed your T's, you're in the clear. You're a step removed from these people documenting what they did in the past. And, just, are you concerned about Disney reaction and how have audiences reacted?
Audience reaction has been incredible. We were unsure about what they would be. It's a really interesting topic. And sometimes we had to balance that line in the edit of it being too niche. So things were cut. Like stuff that felt too inside baseball. We really did want this to play to general audiences that maybe don't know about the Disney fandoms and things. And I think we had probably a good mix of that. There were some people that showed up with their Disney shirts on, which I love. But just some totally unsuspecting viewers at Slamdance that had seen our posters and things and thought, oh, this sounds pretty cool. I've never been to Walt Disney World, but let's wander into this. And yeah, it was just the amount of laughter that we got was incredible. This was the first film project I've ever done. I haven't made any short films or features, obviously, before this. So to see my film in a theater with such a reaction, like such a loud reaction from people, was incredible. On the Disney side, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's silly, but we're not concerned. It's something that's out there already. If anything, it's like a minor annoyance to them that this story's being brought up again. But, in the film, we have all those news broadcasts about it from 2018 when the crimes happened. It was pretty sensational. We haven't heard anything. We've had some Disney employees and Imagineers watch the trailer and even watch the film, and they're very interested in it. They love it. If they've seen the film, they love it. I talked to one extensively after a Slamdance screening, and I don't know him, and I don't know if anyone knew him. He just saw it online and was like, "Oh, I have to go to this." And we talked for a while. They love that stuff. Most people on that lower level of Disney, not the execs, they're really passionate about Disney. Like, you'll find that all the employees there, especially at like Imagineering, they want to see this kind of stuff, and they know that Disney will never make it. So
we've got, like I said, 1,600 people watching live and a ton of questions from our audience. So let's get to those. Alan, if you would do that, and I got to do a quick break. I'll be
sure.
Right
back. Geek Truth 64 for 5. First heard about Stolen Kingdom from Jake over at Bright Sun. Thanks for coming on, Josh, to discuss. I love docs, and I'm hoping for a Blu-ray release. Have you gotten that far in the process of your film?
Not yet. We will make sure that this comes out physically. But yeah, that's awesome that you heard through Jake. We love Jake. He's one of our executive producers, and like I mentioned, Bright Sun Films is his co-production company that worked with my production company. They're awesome. He's been covering this stuff since he was a teenager. So this feels like full circle for Bright Sun Films.
All right. From Patrick Lemire, Josh, isn't the whole film incriminating, or has the statute of limitations lapsed on everything in the film?
Probably statute of limitations. Patrick is really insistent on that. I'm definitely not a person to give legal advice.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the stuff in the film is 30 years ago, like with Hoot and Chief. And most people were already tried for what they do in the film. Yeah. So it's been done and dusted. Matt Sansois was charged. Patrick was charged. I think it's all over at this point.
Yeah, Patrick, I believe, was convicted for what he did.
Yeah, he was sentenced to initially 10 years probation, and then it got it down to 5.
Yeah. So that releases him from, at least from the crimes he was convicted for. Tucker Time, this film looks fantastic. It is.
Thank you.
My Life Matters. Hey, Josh, any plans on making a Knott's version? Going into Knott's Berry Farm and...
Is there a story there? If there is one, I'll tell it.
Right.
If it's interesting enough. There's a lot of great YouTube videos that I could go. I definitely want to encourage people to go out there and search YouTube for abandoned things and those little theme park stories that could maybe be told in 20 minutes. But I love Knott's. It's one of my favorite parks.
Yeah, Tucker Time is my friend Jeff Tucker. He has a YouTube channel and he works at Knott's. A great friend of mine.
Okay.
Keep going out.
Okay. Brock Samsonite, is there an appeals process to unban if you've been banned from a theme park, or can you elaborate on what it is? Because I believe someone who got banned was unbanned, and I assume that's why they didn't participate in the documentary.
Yeah, that's Adam the Woo. Yeah, it is tricky. I spoke to him in person about it, and he wasn't exact, but I absolutely do not want my name to appear, but was very clear that he didn't want to do an interview or speak about it personally. And there was no way to not involve him in the history of this, which you guys have seen, that Matt Sansois, one of the biggest explorers, he mentioned he's directly inspired by Adam. So he was unbanned after a year. There is no direct appeal process. Adam went through a lawyer that sent a letter to Disney. You can appeal it yourself, but I think some people like Leonard Kinsey has tried both avenues, I believe, and is still banned. So it's definitely a case-by-case basis. I'm sure it helps to have a lawyer that they're familiar with write a nice personal letter.
Aid Ellis 24, I stole Buzzy. So mystery solved.
There we go. There it is.
We'll go to Super Chats here.
You should have got a hold of them beforehand. John Lithgow, Buckaroo Bonsai. I believe that's from the previous story.
From Ducky 997.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Eric Stratton, member for 26 months. I've watched theme park videos since 2016. None is surprised. Some weirder things you have not even talked about? Are there some weird things that
Absolutely
you haven't talked about?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like an endless amount of weird things that we don't even get to in the film. I think we had to like really pick and choose that, it's only 74 minutes and we wanted to be really tight and specific to our history. You ask a cast member and I'm sure they'll tell you some crazy stories.
There's almost another documentary in what happened to the Jungle Cruise captains when they were all fired because they would go off script and tell, off-color jokes. They weren't even that bad, frankly. But that was a whole controversy. One of my friends was one of the captains of the Jungle Cruise ride, got in a lot of trouble. There's almost a whole doc in that story. But yeah, our chat is going nuts with questions. Tom Siebert, very good trailer. And Tucker Time, my friend Jeff Tucker. I used to sneak into Universal Studios back in the late 80s. I was obsessed with Back to the Future. So
that's
there you
awesome.
go. More questions here, Alan, if you would.
Dr. Sylvester Matushika, Bright Sun Films, he said, isn't that the channel that does the Abandoned series on YouTube?
It is. Absolutely. Abandoned. He maybe made an Abandoned Discovery Island video at this point, probably almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been covering this for a long time.
Brock Samsonite, was there any footage you had put and weren't allowed to show because Disney forced you to pull it out? Can they do that?
No, not Disney specifically. We went through fair use lawyers that work on these kinds of films a lot with archival and stuff, and they were able to approve what we could and couldn't use. We didn't really use any Disney footage. Like I mentioned, how Bowers is a participant, and he, they have their own database of archival not owned by Disney. So we steered clear of that stuff. As far as the crime stuff goes at Disney, yeah, I'm not sure that they could pull that. It's still on YouTube, most of it, if you go watch Matt Sonswall's videos. So.
Yeah, and this is a great follow-up question from Matthew Hammond. Did you have to license the video footage in the doc? What is the fair use challenge you had with the film?
Yeah, luckily we didn't really have many challenges. A lot of the footage is from, I guess the majority of the VHS stuff would be from Hoot and Chief, and then there's some like random archival that we use at a few points with Dave Ensign to add some color for the time period and a little bit of Epcot things, but everything was luckily approved.
And Matthew Hammond also asked for two. Did people in the footage have to sign a release?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Luckily we, even though this is our first film, I think we did a pretty good job with all of our releases and fair use and all that.
All right. ADLS24. How tight has security become at Disney over the years for both guests and staff in response to the growing trend of Disney adults and guerrilla films like Escape from Tomorrow?
Interesting question. It has changed a lot, and it was probably later than you would imagine. A lot of these people started making videos and still didn't up their security. In the film, there's an incident where someone goes to this abandoned island in this lake near Magic Kingdom. Finally, someone gets caught on a camera. That might be the first time in the film that someone actually gets caught on a camera. This happened in 2020. So very recently, they've started to put up some trail cameras on some trails that go in areas at Walt Disney World, and I'm sure at Disneyland as well. The new attractions, I'm sure they all have cameras and sensors and things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Hoot and Chief thing at Horizon. It was amazing to me that there were no cameras at all on that ride, and they got as much access as they did.
Horizons was an outlier in that, yeah, because Haunted Mansion and other attractions have had CCTV cameras and pressure mats and other security measures since the who knows when, 70s, 80s.
Yeah. Crazy. Caveat ties. Anyone present to be a maintenance man and sneak around? Okay.
You could do that if you wanted to, yeah.
Dr. Fauci, but for 5, I've always hated Disney since I was a child. 100 years of propaganda and child psychological manipulation. It's a sinister company, always has been. Yes. Controversial.
Okay. Maybe you should watch the film then.
Yeah.
Watch the film is I think really like I love the best parts of Disney, and the film does a great job of showing that kind of passion. And it's really bold. I mean, I was worried for people's safety during some of the footage in your movie.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. Climbing up roller coasters, getting off rides, when you're not supposed to, was scary stuff. Some of it.
Yeah. It's even scary if you've worked at some of these attractions and you know the extent of the risk.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole, I don't want to get morbid, but you can look it up of people who have died at Disneyland. That's a completely separate topic altogether. Yeah.
Okay, ADLs, how rampant has theft been within the ranks of former cast members who worked at the parks on cruise ships back in the day as compared to nowadays?
I don't know if I can really speak exactly to back in the day, but I imagine, and from the few stories I've heard, that it was more lax, that maybe you could take things. There is a story that Patrick told us specifically that back when Wonders of Life closed or a manager left, they were given a sign just as a gift. They later gave it to Patrick and he tried to sell it. He was working at Disney at the time, and they said, you shouldn't have this. This should not be in your possession. He was like, well, it was a gift from a manager of this attraction. Like, no, he never should have been given that as a gift. So things have clearly changed. They were allowed to be, given gifts of pieces of attractions and things. But Patrick took this stuff in 2017 and 2018, I guess, and he was a cast member for some period of that time.
All right.
And Atomic Lori says Patrick definitely took Buzzy. That's her theory. That's her. Just the theory.
That's her. You said it, not me.
Yeah.
All right. ADL's 24. Is there a treasure trove of discarded Disney artifacts that the company now hoards to keep them out of the hands of resellers and collectors? I think you point that out in the movie.
Yeah. I think you could call that the Disney Archives. I think that's an annoyance of mine as a fan of the history of Disney specifically. And, if Buzzy was taken out by Disney, then he was boxed up and sent to the archives, and we'll probably never see him again, along with a bunch of other stuff. Sometimes that stuff will come out. They'll do it for their D23, their biannual convention. They have other small events that they do with their D23 fan club. They'll occasionally pull out some props, but for the most part, that does exist here in California.
I was really surprised at the value of some of these items that are, going for hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that was shocking to us as well.
I was gonna say 2 years ago at D23, they had Walt's jet, and I assume that they had taken the one you had shown and refurbished it, but it was there at D23.
So did you see that in person?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got pictures with it. And everything.
So funny. And so we've been working on this film for 4 years. So that happened. I think we had already had a finished cut at that point, and I was like freaking out when they announced that, because there's a scene in the film with the plane, with Matt Sansois. To me, that's like an artifact in a Stolen Kingdom sense, but some of the stuff is incredible. The night we met Patrick again after that initial meeting in 2018, all the crimes had happened. We hadn't spoke to him, and then we asked him to do the interview, and we met him up the night before the scene in the film where he's sitting in the Snow White ride vehicle. He buys it and they push it out into the parking lot. So it was the night before that. We're leaving after getting some drinks, and he goes, "Hey, come into my car really quick." And he pulls out this envelope, and I open it up, and there's a check in it for $48,000. And he had told us that we were going to the antique mall. We were all ready to go. And he's like, "This is for the Snow White ride vehicle."
Oh my God.
I've never held a check for that much money.
And I gotta ask a final question. You're all twisted up, tuned in late, so gotta ask, where can we see the film? I assume you're getting distribution right now, how it will be released. You mentioned a physical release. Please do one We like our Blu-rays. You know, it's not guaranteed if we buy a movie, you know, on VOD, we'll have it forever. What's the release plan? And is it possible for people to see it now on the Slamdance app? How can people see it?
Yeah, right now on the Slamdance channel, you can check it out. I think that just started yesterday. It'll run until March 7th. You'll be able to watch the films. A lot of other great films. It's awesome that you guys have been covering those. Slamdance has been incredible for the past 10 days I've been here, seeing as many films as possible. So watch other films besides Stolen Kingdom. Lots of great ones on there. And then after that, yeah, we're working on distribution right now. And of course, I want to build in that there will be a physical release as part of that. And if anything, I will try and do my VHS release, which is my dream. Because I collect VHS tapes.
Okay. If it's in a VHS release for this movie, can you please put it in a clamshell? Like the old Disney treasures? It can't be a sleeve. It's got to be clamshell that makes that noise when kids open it up. I mean, you know, those sell now. Those are collectible now. It's insane.
Yeah. I agree. That is a good idea. Clamshell as opposed to slipcover for sure.
You gotta go clamshell. Even the style with like the white VHS, you know, make it all look magical. Oh my God, Josh.
Yeah, that won't raise the cost at all.
Hey, but it's a limited run. Do like 500. Raise money for your next movie. Anyways, I gotta say, Josh, thank you so much for taking the time. Congrats on the movie. Great review on Film Threat and here on our channel. And really encourage our audience, who I know loves pop culture, to check out the film either on the app or eventually when it comes out. I'm sure it'll get a release somehow. You know, someone will step up and distribute or do it yourself. You know, you can do it.
That's always an option.
You can self-release. This is commercial enough to make it. So just congrats from all of us. We were all excited when we heard about this film. So we appreciate
Thank you so much.
Yeah, cool. And where can people go to get more info? Is there a website? Where can people go?
Yeah, stolenkingdomfilm.com is a great place. And then I think for more frequent updates, you can follow our Instagram at Stolen Kingdom Film. I'll post any minute-to-minute updates there. Future screenings. We'll do some more film festivals, hopefully. And maybe we'll have some incredible news about distribution in the future. Yeah.
Please. Okay, I'm bringing up this. Oh, here it is. I found the website. I have to share this with everybody because I want them to see. Here's the official site, stolenkingdomfilm.com. Official site, press, cast and crew. You can contact you from this. So this is awesome. Congrats on your festival run and can't wait to see it commercially released. So, and the clamshell VHS, I'm telling you, that's a home run. Our chat is loving it. Our chat is loving it. So great. Josh, please come back sometime and talk to us with your next project. I'd love to see what else you're working on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic doc. So congrats. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Josh.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
I love this stuff. I mean, the little guy taking down the big mouse. That's what I love.
Well, I mean, and as I'm, talking to him, I'm thinking, think of all the other kinds of docs you could do.
Mm-hmm.
You could do one just on the auctions. You could do one on the Jungle Cruise. Go down a rabbit hole. You remember the Jungle Cruise? It's a very basic old school ride at Disneyland. But what would happen is the Jungle Cruise captains would go off script. And there was a completely different blue script for Jungle Cruise. And as Disney continues to censor itself, right, and cut things back, they're already talking about, I mean, what are they? They keep getting rid of rides. Alan, you know more about this than I do. That's a documentary unto itself.
I mean, the feeling I got when I went to Disney World was I paid twice as much for half the stuff. And, we talked about Horizon. We talked about Cranium Command. I went to Epcot. There was every day we had 2 or 3 rides we had to do. And unfortunately, for every park, there was only 2 or 3 rides we had to do. It used to be much more. We got to do this ride, we got to do that ride, we got to do this ride, we got to do that ride, and that just didn't exist on this trip. We got in Guardians of the Galaxy. There we go. We just finished Epcot. Now we'll just do everything else. And this is the sad state of the Disney theme parks, is that they're offering less for more.
Yeah, I mean, it's tragic. And by the way, that Abandoned Films, I've watched so many of their videos. They do abandoned attractions.
Yeah.
And my friend Jeff Tucker, who may or may not still be in the chat, Tucker Time, subscribe to his channel. He documents his adventures, and he is a major theme park, archivist and historian. He could tell you about the black hole ride that was never done at Disneyland. There's so much lore about Disney. Anyways,
I used to be so much into that stuff, and knowing that we're going to talk about this today, I just keep thinking about the fact that I'm not nostalgic or sentimental about anything anymore, and I hate to say it, I blame Disney for a lot of that. The things I loved as a kid, the things I carried with me into my adulthood. If you go on my Twitter, I think the most exciting thing I found at Disney World was the old coolie hat from the China Pavilion.
My friend Jeff, I've been in the industry 30 plus years.
Yeah.
He's also the biggest Back to the Future fan. He wrote a book about Back to the Future. Jeff Tucker, look him up. Subscribe to his channel. Go to Knott's. I'm a fan of Knott's. I haven't been to Disney since 2019, but I've been to Knott's. Even through the pandemic, they would do these food festivals, which were amazing. So, there's so much. I could sit here forever and talk to you about theme park. I like the history of it. And what's weird is I'm not a big roller coaster guy. I'm not big on the rides. And I like the sort of classic old. What I love is actually, here's one thing I love. The Tiki Room at Disneyland with all the ethnic stereotypes of all the birds.
It's showtime, folks.
It's showtime. Oh my God. All the different birds and their accents. Yeah. I love it.
We did that at Walt Disney World. My daughter experienced it for the first time.
She finally got to see it.
Yeah, and not impressed. The one thing she was impressed with, to the point where she said, "I want to do this again," was a Country Bear Jamboree. And they had recently changed it, so the bears are singing Disney songs instead of the old show, and she absolutely fell in love with that show.
And Eric Stratton says Fan Fest is coming at Universal. Guess what? I was just looking at dates for Fan Fest. You know what Fan Fest is, Alan?
No.
It is different fandoms that will be featured in attractions at Universal Studios Hollywood. Everything from Back to the Future to Star Trek. It looks fun. So there you go. We have another interview coming up. The director of we have another Trigger Happy filmmaker Tiffany Stevens will be here momentarily. Here she is. Yep. Here she is. Let's pivot. Talk about timing. Tiffany jumps on, and we're talking about her. Let's go. All right. What are you
You're
doing?
supposed to play the video at that point, and then we get into it.
We're gonna play. What video did you want to play?
The intro to the interviews.
I'll do it. All
it.
Right. We have filmmaker Tiffany Stevens here. Her movie Trigger Happy is coming out. I think is it out this week? We'll talk to her. She will tell us. Welcome to the show, Tiffany Kim Stevens. Hey, Tiffany. Thank you for joining us on the show here. congrats on your film, Trigger Happy. How's it going?
Good. I'm really stoked to be here. This
Are
is
you?
fun. I guess I kind of just popped in.
Popped in. You pop in. There's 1,700 people watching live. They're
Hey, what's up,
excited.
everyone?
There you go. Yeah. I want to show the trailer for your movie, which is amazing. I want to show it to give people a taste, give them a tease of your film. But tell us in your words about Trigger Happy.
Trigger Happy is set in a 50s inspired parallel universe where gender roles are reversed, and it is about a repressed husband who attempts to murder his breadwinning wife for her life insurance policy.
So there you go. It's a comedy and science fiction all wrapped in one. Where did this concept come from?
This concept came from two of the very first people that I've ever met, which were my parents.
Yeah, I would assume maybe they're very traditional or maybe non-traditional. I don't know.
They're pretty traditional. You know, my dad is the man of the house, my mom's the woman of the house, and given that gender roles, at least back then, because they're really old, they're like older than boomers. We're so rigid when they were growing up. They really didn't have any sort of opportunity to express other different parts that maybe aren't necessarily associated with their gender. So I really wanted to give my mom a masculine voice and wanted to give my dad a feminine voice, and doing it through Trigger Happy was a really cathartic way to do it through me. And then our writer, Daniel Moya, really took these characters and made them the entertaining, satirical, batshit crazy personalities that they are.
Cool. Well, let's take a look at the trailer for Trigger Happy. Here we go.
A man needs something to aspire to.
Police believe she was after a nearly $2 million life insurance payout.
$2 million. A nice chunk of change, but not worth it. Worth what? The soul, George. My wife is remarkable. Light of my life.
I have been paying for everything forever, and I've decided that it's going to stop.
Bang, bang.
Take pride in being a man who's important to society.
You're a worthless donkey roasting in the twilight of your life.
I am trying to cultivate a positive headspace until the audition.
Wow.
Whoa. I think George is trying to kill me.
Do you really think George is smart enough to kill you and get away with it?
Yeah, no.
Thank you. I really needed that.
How did the project start? How did you pull it together in terms of, the one obstacle for filmmakers, a lot of filmmakers, is money. How'd you pull it all together and make the film?
Well, long story short, we started with the script. And as you know, a script is a super subjective piece of art. So as we were pushing it around, I think the most of the feedback we got was, it's 2020. First of all, no, thank you. We might all die. Number two was, hey, you're a first-time feature director. You have no feature portfolio. Why the heck would we invest in this? And three, what does this, like a satire, dark comedy, that's such a niche of the niche of the niche of comedy. There's no market. I'm not sure. How can we vet this? So we got a score from the Blacklist, which we scored an 8 and up, which gave us a little bit of ammo to be able to go back to sales agents and production companies. And everybody was like, nah, not about it. And so I said, you know what, the show must go on somehow. And we made a proof of concept short film out of our savings. And we pushed that around, which gave us a little more traction, got us to a little more rooms, but ultimately it was still we'll take the meeting, but sorry, mate, this is not for us. And so I was like, all right, well, we did the proof of concept thing. We went out to like all the upcoming prodcos and sort of, the festival feeders. where can we get money? And we are in California. I'm in LA. And I said, where else is there a booming economy? Oh, of course, San Francisco, Silicon Valley. So I flew my little butt up to the Bay Area. I snuck into a bunch of tech parties and just pitched around to a bunch of tech people. And, you know, they're all trying to get their apps going. And I'm like, I'm here to make a movie. Suddenly there was sort of interest. And at the time, because of COVID and the production in LA, if you shot 75% of your movie in LA, it would qualify for a tax break. So that was our biggest sort of foray into funding, and getting that funding from random high net worth individuals in the Bay Area in tech who had money to spare and were like, yeah, I want to make a cool film project because we can. And that's how we got it.
So it was all through moxie and just not giving up. That's awesome. So
yeah.
I didn't
maverick shit. Thank you though. I appreciate you saying
well, like the 75, I didn't know about that, getting the credit for shooting in LA. That's amazing.
Is that still there though?
It's not. It was purely like a COVID incentive thing. Which we were Can you repeat that?
Oh, Alan.
Do you have an opinion as to why? Oh, no, yeah, I spoke over it. What was the last part you just said?
Could you repeat your question, Alan?
Yeah. Do you have an opinion as to? Yeah. Do you have an opinion as to why comedies are just verboten in Hollywood nowadays? Why it's so hard to get it funded?
I think it's because they don't necessarily sell on the international market. And, you know, why rely on America when you can rely on the hundreds of other countries as well that do love movies and can give you money for movies. And comedy is so niche and culturally specific. So I think that's why Hollywood is very much like, yo, we want to sell internationally. We got to make a movie that's, you know, point blank, easy to understand, like, you know, a big 4-quad show or a big horror. And that's really what I think. And if you are going to do a comedy, I think physical comedy is always going to, there's a higher probability of getting that funded and greenlit, just because physicality is something that everybody can understand in every language.
We've got over 1,600 people watching live, and they have a lot of questions for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do this. Mr. Blue Sky, this looks great. And Roger Borg, it's a solid trailer. And Caveat Ties, how did you gather your crew?
That's a great question. I pulled some folks from film school. I did go to film school, and there were homies that I'd worked with since my freshman year. But more than anything, I generally just put feelers out all over social media, on Reddit, on LinkedIn, and had a bunch of different submissions of people that gave me their reels, their resumes, and then had preliminary conversations, along with also just referrals from friends. And that was really fun to build that team of Avengers.
Davina Duckworth says you need to be resourceful enough to get money and attention. And you did that. And I don't know about this. This is The Cats on Holiday. Trigger Happy. Isn't that a Baldwin production? No comment on that. No comment. Do better, chat. Do better. $8.24. Was there ever any temptation to give yourself a cameo in the film after finding a role for co-writer Daniel Moya? I
don't feel comfortable being on camera as a character, and even as myself in my own movie. I don't know. I have this thing where I'll put my car in every movie, which is like just enough for me. And Daniel actually did have a cameo, but unfortunately we had to cut it out, and he was okay with that.
Yeah. Let's see. Solomon Thornton says, greetings, Madam Tiffany. Were there any challenges during filming? And if so, how did you solve them?
Of course, there were challenges during filming. I think one of the best parts of filmmaking is being able to use interesting technique, interesting technically cinematic practical effects. So being able to use squibs and weapons and different kind of BB guns and blood rigs was super fun. We obviously had an incredible stunt team, and we had an incredible armor and incredible makeup and prosthetics team. the challenges are always going to be things that set us back time-wise. So when we do a take and we have a squib go off and then there's blood on the costumes and there needs to be cleanup on the floor, the challenge and the labor of having to clean up between takes was really long and arduous, and it really did slow production, which was a challenge, but we got it done. We got it done.
And Aid Ellis 24 says, where did you shoot and how did that locale impact your ability to find a crew, cast actors, and provide you with necessary locations? Because when you say LA is like 60 miles across. It's a big, lots of areas of LA. So where did you shoot?
So we shot within the 3 Mile Zone, which is like a famous radius around all the major studios in Los Angeles, which did help with our tax break. And because we were in that 3 Mile Zone, we had access to a lot of stages, a lot of location sets that or houses on location that were used to being used as locations for filming. And it made it really convenient and easy for everyone to get to locations within, the 30 Mile Zone, not 3 Mile Zone.
That's great. 8 Ellis 24, what did you see in your music video work with Devon Deep that motivated you to cast both her and her co-star Kevin Creeder in this film? Oh, people doing research on you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess so. Thank you for asking that. That's really cool. I'm very flattered. Well, honestly, it was just their work ethic and how easy it was to work with them on set, and building that collaboration and that business relationship was really key. And I wanted to work with them again because they were just so great and easy to work with.
And Cavatino Cavalryman Shay says Trigger Happy is on Prime for $5.99 to rent and $12.99 to buy an HD. But will there be a DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K release? Physical release.
Thank you for the plug. There is a DVD and Blu-ray available on Amazon that you can physically buy. 4K release. Well, we have a screening tonight at theater, which is going to be in 4K. Until we get international distribution, there will be no 4K release.
Okay, where is it screening tonight?
Oh, it's actually screening at the University of Southern California's Cinema School in Los Angeles here, which is my alma mater, which is great.
Oh.
Which I assume you'll do a Q&A.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Now, where can people follow your work and get more info about the film?
You can follow me at Tiffany Kim Stevens on Instagram. You can also add me on LinkedIn because I love LinkedIn, such an underutilized platform. And you can also follow west36productions.com for any Trigger Happy specific updates. But I do post about Trigger Happy pretty much every day, so there's that too.
Nice. Congratulations, Tiffany, on the film. It's out now. Where is it out? Everywhere now? Is it like it's on Amazon, but other places, I assume?
Yes, Apple, Google Play, YouTube, Vimeo, Fandango, all the streaming VODs available.
Love it. Thank you so much for talking to us. Congrats on Trigger Happy, and come back and talk to us when your next film comes out.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
Right.
This was so fun.
Awesome. Take care, Tiffany. Later.
Bye.
Look at that.
Yeah. Hey, that would have been a great movie for a VHS clamshell release as well.
Why did I say that?
I know. I was trying to slip it in, but I'm like,
why did you say you should have done that?
I should have. I tried to.
Oh, whatever. It's all good. Okay. We might end the show early today because you're sick and I have to get to another movie, but I have breaking news.
Yes, I just saw it.
We got our screeners of Daredevil Born Again. We have all the episodes. We have them.
Yes.
And we have to find out, Alan. We need to find out.
Okay.
When we can talk about it. When
I have that for you. I have it for you.
Okay, what can we do?
Okay, so social embargo is lifted. So we can talk about it socially. The review
we will do on Friday an early reaction. No spoiler, no specifics, early reaction to Daredevil Born Again. Go on.
Yes, and then the review embargo is March 4th, which is Tuesday. This Tuesday.
Do we want to
Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Do we want to move Hollywood on the Rocks next Tuesday, next Wednesday to Tuesday?
Okay, let's paint the picture here. On Sunday, we're doing the Oscar watch party. On Monday, we're doing Versus. Do we want to do a day off, or do we want to do another
No,
one?
I want to be the first to talk about it. What does the audience want? We, you know what? The chat is always right.
Yeah, I am free on Tuesday. So
I have a movie to go to on Tuesday, to be fair. Maybe we wait until Wednesday, our normal time. Versus we want to do as sort of a, Oscar fallout, Oscar hangover. No big deal. So,
and Kathleen Kennedy news.
I think that we just do our normal Versus show on Wednesday. Is that fair?
Okay, normal Versus show on Monday, Hollywood on the Rocks on Wednesday.
Yeah, Monday, and the Hollywood on the Rocks on Wednesday. Or maybe we do like a very short. Well, you know what? We have time to discuss.
Well, what movie are you watching Tuesday that you don't want to miss?
I'm going to a movie on Tuesday.
Which
Can I
one?
tell you what movie? I got to look at my calendar. I'm so.
I don't think I'm even on there.
Because
we could have seen Mickey 17, but
I'm invited to a Mickey 17. You know what? I could skip that, and Tuesday we can do the show on Tuesday.
Okay.
You know what? We'll ask people on.
Yeah, we'll figure it out
on Friday. It seems like the chat is mixed.
Yeah, I know. It's like, how much do people care that we get a reaction right away? I mean,
yeah.
Look, I would say if we find it's really good, we probably want to do it. Or if it's
we
really
want to
bad,
do it Tuesday, I would cancel Mickey 17 for this.
Yeah, I got invited there today, and so I didn't even do it.
All right. Well, we will talk to you on Friday. Friday, our big show, our Oscar prediction show. I've got several more Oscar stories to go through, and we will visit those on Friday. So, yeah. Wait, what's this? Wait. So much for seeing if Chris is up for drinks Monday night while visiting LA. What am I doing Monday night? I am exhausted. I don't have Monday night plans. Maybe I'll go to a movie. Maybe AMC Burbank 16 happy hour at Yard House. Let me know, Sons and Shadows. We can do an impromptu meetup. Here we go. But remember our Oscar. I'll remind people again, our Oscar show on Sunday, March 2nd. I have a very important video to show to remind you. Hey everyone, Chris Gore here, and I am at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences Museum, and this is your friendly reminder to watch the Film Threat Oscar Watch Party on Sunday, March 2nd. Alan Ng will be there, as from Heel vs. Babyface, Verbal Riot Show Dante James, and of course Gary from the Nerdrotic is Toxic channel. So join us as we watch the Oscars together, kind of suffer through it. You need us. And I have one Oscar prediction that comes true every year, and that prediction is it will be boring. Unless you watch us, then it'll be a lot of fun. We want to make sure to have, by the way, we're doing giveaways during the Oscar watch party.
Yes.
If you're a member of the channel, we're doing giveaways like every 15 minutes, half an hour. We'll do a giveaway only for members. So if you're a member of the channel, you can win digital codes. So there you go. Alan, anything else?
Oh gosh, no. I'm doing what's it called? I Heart Willie or something like that tonight or I
We are
Kill Willie.
both seeing I Heart Willie tonight.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And also, that's not the Steamboat Willie movie we talked about a while ago. That one's
It's
still
a
in production.
different movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Someone now beat them to the punch, and this is, I believe, this is an Italian production, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks to our mod, Lord Thoth. Thank you to everyone who supports the channel by buying something from shop.filmthreat.com or gives a super chat or just your participation. You know, we're going through economically tough times. You know, not all of us have a gold card, upgrade gold card. Not all of us have those. So, and yeah, I'm glad Alan is back, but now Alan is sick. Right?
Yeah, it's not fun.
You sure you have some nice entertainment here? It would be a shame if someone took it away from you. Just saying.
No one's going to take it away. Alan and I are here. We'll be back Friday. Lots to talk about then. Friday is going to be good. And we have the author of a book about trauma and Lloyd Kaufman. And Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma will be here to give his Oscar predictions.
Yes.
So we have reviews, Oscar predictions, Oscar stories, and I don't know, Alan, we have Alan's opinions on things.
Hashtag cancel Disney Plus.
Probably Alan doing a musical performance.
Hold on. China, hold on. China, hold on.
Are you gonna see Last Breath?
I don't know. Should I?
I saw it Monday. It was the secret movie.
Oh, I could have seen it then.
I saw it Monday and I was like, I don't have to see it on Thursday because I'll be at the Infolist Oscar party. So,
oh, sweet. Well, have fun at that. Yeah, what am I seeing? The Gundam movie? No Address? What is that? Superboys of Melagon? This is
just see Last Breath.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
it's until we get to Snow White, which I have some Snow White news. We'll talk about it on Friday.
Okay.
I have Snow White news. So cool. All right. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. We're back on Friday and we'll be talking about Daredevil. Maybe do our social reaction on Friday. All right, Alan.
Let's get out of here.